Hello, welcome back to my FPL channel. Coach Indy here. Today's episode 16 and today's all about Game Week 25 review. My goodness, has Fernandes come in clutch in the 97 minutes. So if you did have him captain, you guys will be ecstatic. Obviously, if you had Ronaldo, if you had both of those, if you had United defensive assets, you'll all be pleased. So we're going to review over Game Week 25 and then we're going to have a bit of a live tinker in terms of what transfers going ahead for double Game Week 26. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. Dive into my Game Week 25 review. It was a decent week again, another green arrow, which we'll dive into a little bit more detail later on. Now, first thing to mention is I played a 1-3-5-2 formation. Now, Cancelo was in the starting 11 to start off with. Now, I thought there was probably a quite high chance, maybe 90-95% chance that he wouldn't play. However, that small chance I just couldn't take, sort of not putting him in the starting 11. The only way for me that I thought he would play is, so obviously, that small chance, obviously, playing like I mentioned. But the only other chances he would come on would be in situations like if they had a defensive crisis, for example, when there may be 2-3 injuries defensively, or if they were trying to manage the game late on and they maybe had a red card and it was a tight affair. So I was quite comfortable sort of starting Cancelo, knowing full well that there's a very small chance that he would come on. Now, Brandon Williams was my first sort of defensive sub. I was a bit annoyed when City scored that fourth goal because Williams was sitting on 1 point, obviously went down to 0. 1 point doesn't seem like a lot, but you want all them points as FPL managers, don't you? So running through the team, Haya picked up 10 points, sat on 3 points after the 1-1 draw at home to Southampton. Obviously picked up a save point, and then in the second game picked up a clean O and a save point as well, the 2-0 win to Brighton as well. So he picked up 10 points, quite happy with that. I was kind of thinking about 8, 10, 12 points was about his sort of potential, if you like, over this double game week. Williams obviously picked up 0, don't need to talk about that. Trent picked up 6 points in the 1-0 away win to Burnley. And then Tyrick Mitchell, he was kind of one of my differentials this week. He picked up 6 points in the 0-0 draw away to Brentford. Fernandes picked up 24 points. Now, he was sitting on sort of just appearance points after sort of the first game week, but obviously coming in clutch right at the end there with scoring sort of the 97th minute. Obviously picked up 3 BPS points as well. So he picked up 24 points on me, really, really happy with that. I was actually sitting on, I think, maybe a 500 position red arrow, which is not, terrible at all. Bear in mind, obviously, other people had Ronaldo, if you like, and I didn't have him. But obviously, coming in, that was massive. Jota picked up 1 point, come off the bench. Now, he was expected to start against Burnley, but picked up a dead leg sort of in the days leading up to the game. So, picked up 1 point. Foden picked up a goal, 8 points for him. Really, really happy with his sort of points. Now, he could be on the chopping block over the next sort of 1 or 2 game weeks potentially. Depends how sort of the makeup of my team's going to be. Jared Bowen, probably the most informed player in the league at the moment, picked up a goal and assist and bonus points in the 2-2 draw away to Leicester. Mo Salah, he picked up 3 points for me. Now, I tried to sort of get ahead of the curve in terms of my transfers in this week. Obviously, nothing happened, but I'm in a good position ahead of sort of game week or double game week 26. Edouard and Antonio both picked up 2 points for me, so nothing to shout home about with the strikers, and we all know kind of what strikers are informed and on what aren't, so there isn't that many. Bruno probably being the most informed striker in the league. Although one thing I will mention is Lukaku's on my radar massively over the next 1 or 2 transfers, potentially over the next couple of game weeks with Chelsea's fixtures, but that's for another video. And on the bench, Foster 2 points, Dennis 1 point, Cancelo 0, and Ben White with 1 fixture. So that left me with 75 points, another green arrow. So I started off the rank at 931, sorry, and I moved up to 13,313. So that's kind of a 3.5 green arrow. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're at sort of 16, nearly 17k, that's quite a big jump. So I'm really, really happy with that. That leaves me overall points of 1,618. Squad value is 106.6 million. I used my 2 free chances this week, which were incidentally Ben White in and Soufal out. Obviously, I knew that Ben White didn't have the fixture, but I was quite happy to play Mitchell. And then obviously I bought in Mo Salah for the reluctant sale of Heung-min Son, which I potentially could be bringing back in ahead of game week 26. So yeah, I've used sort of 28 transfers at this stage of the season, which normally I'm looking at about 35. I normally take a few more hits, but I've kind of had the right players this season, and haven't had many injuries, suspensions, etc. So yeah, being sort of ahead of the curve, if you like, and most of the sort of good players' forms, if you like, and the team's forms. So yeah, so looking in some decent shape. ahead of sort of double game week 26 and beyond. I'm going to go into some live tinkering now, look at sort of different paths and avenues in terms of transfer plans ahead of game week 26 and beyond. Okay, so we're now going to go on to FPL.Team and have a bit of a live tinker, look at what my possible avenues are for game week 26 and then kind of what that looks like ahead for game week 27, maybe game week 28 as well. So my original plan was I kind of devised myself last week and / the week before. Well, firstly, I'm just going to move in all the double game week players. So let's just move in Ben Foster. Dennis is going to come in for, say, Antonio. And obviously I brought in Ben White this week, so he'll come in for Williams. I'll probably put Cancelo as my first sub. So that's kind of what the bench would look like. Obviously got one free transfer. So the original plan was to take out Fernandes again. And then bring in Son. Let's bring in Son. And that now gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double game week players. And then you've got Bowen, the most informed player in the league. And then you've got Foden, who on his day can be fantastic, can get some big scores. And one thing to sort of add to this as well is, and the reason why I'm maybe thinking about starting Foden ahead of Cancelo is, Man City last night absolutely romped their first leg Champions League game away to Sporting 5-0, and Foden was taken off after sort of an hour. So, and I think Cancelo was as well, but it just means that Foden was more likely to play at the weekend. So, obviously a big game, Spurs, at home to Spurs, should I say. So I prefer to sort of just play the most attacking player out of the two. And then sort of what that will look like for game week 27, sorry. I mean, obviously you'll take out Ben White, bring in Cancelo, Brandon Williams will come in for Trent. Antonio, again, he's somehow still in my team, like a lot of managers are in that same sort of position. So he would go out for Mo Salah, and that leaves me with 10 players. Now, here what I'm thinking now is take out, just to sell Jota. I'm hoping that maybe potentially at this stage here that a double game week would be announced for Aston Villa, so I'll probably bring in Coutinho. That's kind of the original plan. However, obviously if there is any game week or double game weeks announced, then I'll obviously just adapt and improvise and see what I can do in terms of what players are available. So Jota will probably be coming out. Obviously there's more players with Diaz sort of being signed for Liverpool. It means there's probably be a bit more rotation. And obviously De Gea will play there as well. Yeah, so that's kind of what the team will look at for game week 27. I'll probably end up captaining probably Foden. Yeah, probably Foden. Obviously the pictures don't look great in terms of like Dennis against Man United. We've got although Antonio and Bowen, West Ham are in decent form, as well, they're okay form. West Ham are. They're playing Wolves, who are defensively really good. And obviously you've got Norwich and Southampton, which is not brilliant either. So it's about just sort of fielding 11 players. I'm not in the boat of taking a free hit. So game week 27. What that look like for game week 28? I mean, obviously Ben White will probably come back in for Williams. Mitchell will go out for Trent. Salah will come in for Dennis. De Gea would come. No, De Gea's already in. We'll play him. I'll probably keep in De Gea just because of the save points potentially. Depends how what we do in the double game week. If they look, pick up 2 cleanos, then potentially he could come in and De Gea will be on the bench. And then I'll put Foden as captain. And then I'll probably end up just rolling the transfer for this game week. I don't think there's anyone that really outstanding that I want. Potentially I could, I'll come to sort of other transfers later on. But that's what I could do. Probably up rolling, and then that'll give me 11 players. Obviously, Burnley have a double game week. I know that. So they have a double game week in sort of 27, which again there might be other game weeks. Burnley might have another one in game week 28. So that's quite what I'm thinking for sort of the first initial route, if you like. Just refresh the page. So again, I'll just put in the double game week players. So Foster comes in, Dennis, Antonio, Ben White for Williams. Then Cancelo ended up being my first sub. So now what I could do here is still take out Fernandes, but this time around bring in Saka. But also I could do another transfer as well. where I take out Foden and I bring in Son. Now that gives me 11 double game week. It's for a -4, granted, but obviously you've got some dodgy sort of double game weekers in there. You've obviously got Dennis, who's not brilliant. You've got Mitchell, got Chelsea, one of their games obviously applied exactly the same. He's got rotation risk. So it gives me 10 double game weeks. Bowen is the only one having. So what that looks like for game week 27, which means I'll have 5 blank players. At this stage here, still reluctant to do the 3 hits. So let's just bring in the players I want to play. So De Gea will come in. Ben White for Brandon Williams. Cancelo for Trent. Salah for Antonio. And that'll mean do I take another -4 and take out Jota and Ben White, which is potential. So again, I'll do Jota for Coutinho. And this is obviously hoping that double game weeks get announced. Doing. Yeah, so Jota out, Coutinho in. Let's just do that now. So that's another way around it, and just play with 10. Or I could also bring in another player, which I'm not sure who exactly to bring in. So let's bring in Cornet for Burnley, and that's another way around. So I mean a -4 for game week 26, but also a -4 for game week 27 as well. So that's a -8 over the 2 game weeks. And then what that'll mean ahead of game week 28, Cornet will come out, Salah will come in, Trent will come in for Brandon Williams, Ben White will play in a sort of Mitchell. Yeah, and probably end up playing the team like that, and again Salah will be captain. The third option I have is let's just refresh the page. Again, I'm going to bring in those players that I mentioned with doubles. Dennis coming in, Antonio, Ben White coming in for Williams. Third option is to do a -4 again, and it's to take out Fernandes for Son or Saka. Let's just go with Son for now, as he was my original plan. And the second one is to take out Dennis, which I don't really want to have a Watford attacker. It depends, like, yeah, I mean, I don't really, as it stands right now, I don't really want it, but then he's quite a good enabler. So I might take out Dennis and I might bring in Weghorst or Burnley. Now, obviously, Burnley have the double game week in 26 and 27. That gives me 9 double game week players. Gives me obviously Salah as captain, triple captain, might I add, and then Antonio first sub, Cancelo second sub. Foden and Bowen with you two that sort of have single game weeks. So they're kind of all the options I have. I've got loads of things to weigh up. Obviously, you've got Champions League games as well midweek to sort of navigate through with Liverpool sort of playing tonight. So that's kind of where I am at the moment. My gut is to still go with Fernandes for Son and just leave it like that. However, that Saka transfer is looking quite hot, to be honest with you. Arsenal are relatively okay-ish form, and it's a double 2 home fixtures. Saka seems quite nailed on. Martinez suspended for one of the games. Obviously sold Aubameyang recently as well. So it's a toss-up between Son and Saka. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. There you have it, guys. That is another video in the bag for you guys. We did a bit of a live tinker at the end. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think is the best transfer plan for me ahead of sort of game week 26, 27, and even going into 28. If you like option 1, option 2, option 3, or if you even got a better option, please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, please do so and click that notification bell. It does help our channel grow a little bit further and reach more people, and obviously grow a bigger audience on the channel as well. We'll see everyone next time round.